Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another learning video. Do you know that couple of days back USFDA has issued Form 483 to pharma? I guess those who are working in USFDA approved plants, they might be aware of this. Well friends, Halol facility of the pharma was inspected by USFDA in the month of April from 26th of April to 9th of May 2022. It was almost 10 days audit if you exclude Saturdays and Sundays. There were 3 auditors who conducted the audit and their names were Salim A. Akhtar, Ilyana Barito Patit and Jose M. Kayula. If you have seen my previous video on the Cadila 483 observations, then you might remember that Salim A. Akhtar has also inspected Jarod injectable facility of the Cadila Healthcare in the month of Feb 2022. There he has given 4 observations and I guess Salim A. Akhtar is an expert in auditing injectable facilities. If you want more details on the Cadila Healthcare 483s, then you can check the link given in the description or in the I button. So guys, these 3 auditors has given 10 observations and out of 10 observations, 2 observations related to production system, 3 observations related to facility and the equipment system, 2 observations related to laboratory and the control systems, and 3 observations related to quality system. So let us go through the details of all these observations one by one. Observation number 1. Procedures designed to prevent microbiological contamination do not include adequate validation. Under this observation, auditors found discrepancies in the media fill and the smoke study videos. Actually, auditors has verified the videos of these studies and they found that operators did certain manual activities which were not acceptable. Observation number 2. Aseptic processing areas were not having adequate systems to monitor environmental conditions. Under this observation, auditors identified few of the locations in the aseptic area where intensive manual activities were performed, and those locations were not considered for the environmental monitoring. According to auditors, whenever there are more manual operations in the manufacturing area, those areas possesses high risk of the cross-contamination. Actually, during the audit in Grade A area, auditors found that weighing of the sterile API was carried out on a perforated surface. But this surface was not considered for the viable and the non-viable environmental monitoring. So these were the 2 observations related to production system. Now comes the observation number 3. This observation is related to facility and the equipment system. Under this observation, auditors stated that the equipments and the utensils were not cleaned and maintained appropriately to prevent contamination. During manufacturing area round, auditors found that the equipments were labeled as cleaned, but they observed white and black color residue on the equipment surface. Along with that, auditors also observed small shining fragment which was looking like a metal shaving particle. Under this observation, auditors has mentioned that from year 2020, around 19 product complaints were received and these were related to foreign materials, stains, specks and spots in the drug products. Therefore, auditors has given this observation stating that equipments and the utensils were not cleaned and maintained appropriately to prevent contamination. Observation number 4. Equipments used in the manufacturing, processing, packing or holding of the drug products were not having appropriate designs to facilitate operations like cleaning and the maintenance. Under this observation, auditors found that around 7 equipments were concluded as damaged due to the presence of scratches and the dents on their surfaces. But still those equipments were in usage and they were not removed from the equipment list. Therefore, auditors stated that your firm's quality unit has failed to prevent the usage of the damaged equipments. Here you can see the list of those damaged equipments. Observation number 5. Separate or defined areas were deficient to prevent contamination or mix-ups. Under this observation, auditors found that in Grade A area, there were no appropriate physical barriers between the operators and the sterile API. Observation number 6. This observation is related to laboratory control system. Under this observation, auditors stated that the written stability testing program was not followed. Actually, during the audit, auditors found approximately 200 stability samples which were not analyzed within the timeline as mentioned in the stability testing SOP. Here you can see some of the examples quoted in the Form 483. Observation number 7. Laboratory controls do not include scientifically sound appropriate sampling plan. Quality unit failed to maintain adequate controls to prevent cross-contamination of the microbiological samples before testing and after testing. Auditors has given this observation after reviewing sterility testing failure investigation reports, according to which sterility failure was due to inadequate cleaning and the sanitization of the laboratory surfaces and sample handling deviations by the laboratory personnel. Along with that, multiple environmental monitoring excursions were observed in the grade A and grade B areas, for which root cause was concluded as inadequate handling of the sample media plates and inadequate sanitization of the trays which were used for the incubation. Observation number 8. The responsibilities and the procedures applicable to quality control unit were not followed fully. Under this observation, auditors stated that the recall impacted batches were withdrawn from the market when they were near to expiry date. Let us see one such example. So OS was initiated on 14th of October 2020 for the related compound test during the stability testing of 12-month samples. OS results were confirmed and FAR was submitted to agency on 16th of October 2020. OS impacted batches were manufactured in the month of September 2019 and their expiry was Feb 21. So guys, after confirmation of the OS results, these batches were withdrawn or these batches were recalled from the market around 4 months later when all the batches were near to expiry. Observation number 9. Unexplained discrepancies were not investigated thoroughly. Under this observation, auditors has given 7 examples of various discrepancies which were identified during the audit. So let us see one such example. Auditors stated that the potentially contaminated API was used for the manufacturing of the drug product. So let us see on what basis auditors stated this. So guys, auditors has reviewed a manufacturing investigation report which was initiated to investigate OS and OT in the RS test. And the root cause for the OS-OT was identified as presence of extraneous matter in the API used for the manufacturing. Further source of the extraneous matter was not identified by the API and the drug manufacturer. So 2 batches where this API was used, those batches were rejected. However, 2 more batches were manufactured where the partial quantity of this impacted API was used and obtained results were found satisfactory and the product was released into the market. Observation number 10. Employees engaged in the manufacturing and the processing of the drug products lack necessary trainings which are required to perform their assigned functions. Under this observation, auditors has raised concern about the visual inspection practices, specifically the visual inspection qualification process. Under this observation, 4 examples are quoted by the auditors, which proves that the employees involved in the manufacturing activities were not trained properly. Let us see one such example. Auditors has asked to provide visual inspection kit which was used to qualify the visual inspectors. But management said that they are destroying the visual inspection kits after qualification process. Auditors were not satisfied with the visual inspection activities of the plant because there were so many complaints received related to black spots and the black specks after release of the product into the market. That's why auditors raised the questions on the company's visual inspection process. According to them, if visual inspection process is robust, then these many complaints will not be there related to black spots and the black specks in the drug products. So guys, these were the 10 observations which were issued by the USFDA to Sun Pharma Halol plant. There are so many examples are quoted by the auditors in the Form 483 against each observation. I have covered only few of them. If you want more details about these observations, then you can find the link given in the description or you can visit the USFDA website to download the Form 483. So this is it for today guys. Hope you have learned something new today. Bye bye and happy learning.